Hi, today I'm going to talk about one of the most iconic shows in pop culture. Shameless. You've probably heard of it. It's not a new show. It's probably one of the most brutal and realistic shows out there. Personally, I really love it because it portrays different mental health conditions as well as maladaptive psychological patterns and behaviors very well. Like, so well. Honestly, when I had to study for an exam and I was trying to remember how bipolar usually presents, I just thought of certain characters in Shameless. Like, that's how good it is. It portrays the characters really, really well. The plot revolves around a family in the south side. There's Fiona, who is raising her 5 siblings. And why is she raising? You might be wondering why she's raising them. Well, she's raising them because she sort of has one absent parent, at least at the start of the show, and another parent who really does not care about the kids, who is called Frank. So there's Ian, Debbie, Carl, Lip. Fiona pretty much holds the family as a glue, and she struggles. We see everyone's mental struggles and the impact that the absence or the negligence of their parents has had on all of them and the consequences. And Fiona is quite young, but she cannot pursue her dreams or goals because she's raising her siblings who seem to hate her and seem ungrateful, yet she really stuck with them. Her dating life, so we really go into the dating lives of all the kids as they grow. So it deals with powerful subjects such as mental health, teen pregnancy, being broke, alcoholism, addiction, rape, so many subjects that really do happen in the usual life and maybe do not get onto TV that much. The characters are extremely unique, very realistic, but they are also flawed. I really credit the writers, producers of Shameless, because they managed to make the characters so realistic that it could be your neighbor. They do have good things about them, but they also have flaws. They kind of embody the entirety of being human really well. And it has 11 seasons. So we'll get into some of the characters. So there's Fiona, the eldest daughter, who is raising her 5 siblings. She did not finish high school because she had to take up the role of fully taking care of her siblings. And she actually did have this role from quite a young age, but when she grew, she had to assume a lot of responsibility. And we see her battling with her self-worth, her self-esteem, with a lot of frustration with life. And over the seasons, her trying to make something of herself. And yeah, definitely life is not easy, and how her failures actually impact her in the long run. We see her dating life. We do have Lip, who is, I guess, the one who follows Fiona. Lip is quite brilliant in class, but due to some of the struggles, Frank, who's their dad, is an alcoholic, and Lip happens to have a bit of this in him. Because of alcoholism and arrogance, he fails to pursue some paths that actually lay themselves in front of him to turn his life around and his family's life around because of those issues. And then we see him struggling with relationships, just like Fiona has. And we have Debbie, she does get pregnant when she's a teenager, and it is really chaotic. We see her battle how to look after her child because she got pregnant, but then the father got out of the picture. So she battles trying to raise her child. Fiona is extremely angry and disappointed in Debbie, but Debbie decides to take on her decision and own it. Then we have Carl. He was a bit destructive at first in some of the first seasons, but then later straightens out himself and gets a more responsible role. And actually, out of all of them, I believe he used to look out for Fiona the most. Then we have Liam. The show begins when he's a baby, but then he starts growing up, and we also get more of his character. He's actually also incredibly brilliant. Then we have Frank, the dad. Well, Frank claims to always be right in everything he does, keeps telling his children that they are ungrateful, yet he's barely around. When they save up some money, he uses it for his own pleasures, indulges in a lot of alcohol. Frank's character is quite messed up. He has no remorse at all, and he'll do anything he wants. It doesn't matter who he hurts, as long as he gets his way, whether it's his children, whether it's his ex-wife Monica, whether it's a random person, he'll do whatever he has to do to get his way. Yeah. Then we have Monica, who's their mother with bipolar, but she never really embraced treatment, so she really struggles mentally, because sometimes she runs away, then she gets back with Frank, and then she runs away again. It's sort of a vicious cycle. Throughout all the seasons, we see the children grow, get into relationships, manage different setbacks, try to make a great life out of their lives despite some of the mistakes that they make. But one thing I loved about the show, they always stuck together. The siblings always stuck together. They always used to be there for each other. In case there were setbacks, even in the good times, they really stuck together. So I 100% recommend this show to anyone who hasn't watched it.